Good morning, Jessica Dumas here, Prime Image Life Coaching. The reason why I'm doing this is because there's so many great and amazing Indigenous professionals and individuals, artists, and just people all around that I've been really lucky and blessed to meet along my journey of learning. So a little bit about me, I'm a professional life coach. I have a 6-month online life coaching program called my Prime Image Life Coaching Program. And I'm also the creator of a workshop called on March 22nd. And this is something that was an interesting journey for me to do this work that I'm doing now, because I started learning about my Indigenous connections after my brother was killed in 2005. And one of the first things that I got from the community was I started receiving gifts and things that I didn't understand, such as receiving an honor song, and I didn't really know what that meant. So I started my own journey and, identifying that I was kind of embarrassed that I didn't know those things, until I realized that there's a lot of systems in place that were created for me not to know those things. So this workshop, sharing this knowledge that I've gained, is all part of that journey. And again, creating a space to highlight these beautiful, incredible Indigenous, First Nation, Métis, Inuit people. And so I've got a long list of names that I can't wait to get to. And today we're talking with Fauna Kingdon. So I'm going to invite Fauna now. And there she is. Good morning, Fauna. So Fauna is a Métis professional woman from Nunavut, and just waiting for the internet to catch up with us. I think she dropped out, but she's going to come back. But Fauna, I want to tell you, is someone that I met speaking at the Rotary Career Symposium a couple of years ago. There she is.
I'm back.
Hi.
You froze for a second, so I just kind of logged out and logged back in.
Good idea. So I'm just telling them how we met. So we were at the Rotary Career Symposium a couple of years ago, and we were in the speaker's room where they provide the coffee and that sort of thing for everyone. And I think Fauna was in there before me, and I got really excited because I was like, oh, wow, there's another Aboriginal woman here to speak to the youth. I want to know who she is. I want to know what she does, because I've just always got my eye out for awesome people. So Fauna fits that, and I wanted to have an opportunity, because since I've got to know her, she's already done so many new things, like starting a brand new business. Are you with me, or are you frozen again? A little bit about Fauna is, so she's currently, in what I shared on the poster, she is the finance officer for Fisher River Cree Nation. So it's a really high level position. And I don't know too many people who love numbers, so I'm impressed right off the bat right there. And so another thing that she does is, I believe she's the co-owner as well as the owner. I know she's the owner, but the co-manager, I think, is what I want to hear more from her about. But a brand new business called Reveal Laser Aesthetics, which is in Winnipeg, a brand new company that's here in Winnipeg. I think that they came from Toronto, so I can't wait to hear about how she made that connection and about what that's doing for her right now. So as soon as this internet will catch up with us, what is going on here? Tell us a little bit about just who you are and what you do. Can you hear you?
Because I could hear the whole time, and I was like, what's going on? Okay.
Oh, okay. So, okay, cool. So I was just talking about all the things that I know about you, but I know that there's still so much that I don't know about you. So why don't you start and just tell us, like, how your own introduction? Just go right ahead.
Sure. So I'm Métis, and I was raised in Nunavut. So people always get that confused. So they always think, oh, you're Indigenous from Nunavut, you must be Inuit. My mom is actually from northern Manitoba. So my grandpa was a fisherman. And so him and my grandma raised 17 children together. And so my mom comes from a huge Native family in northern Manitoba. And my dad also comes from Manitoba. And my dad's job with Hydro took us up to Nunavut. So I was raised there all my school years.
Okay.
And so it was a different experience.
Were you born in Winnipeg and then moved?
I was born in Erickson. Actually, my mom left. My parents lived in Nunavut before, when it was Frobisher Bay NWT, and my brother was born there. And so they lived there for a number of years, and then they left when my mom was 8 months pregnant with me
Oh, I
to
see.
have me. And we moved back when I was about 4. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So what was it like?
My dad wanted to be a farmer for some reason.
For some reason.
It was, I mean, I don't, people always ask that question, but I don't know what to compare it to, because, you know, everyone's experience is unique. So I don't know what it's like to be raised anywhere else.
Right.
But I think it was really great. I mean, I had really great friends. Like, I had a very busy childhood. I was in swimming, I was in karate, I traveled a lot. I mean, I had a very busy piano and,
Nice.
um,
Wow.
different
That was
things. I think
definitely
me and my friends were probably very creative in what we would do. Fun. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of, we would drive around a lot when we had our license, or snowmobiling, or just different things.
cool. Well, that's definitely a lot busier than what I
asked me that question, but I don't really know what it's like to be raised anywhere else.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
I mean, I loved it.
So that's really cool. And I think that, I mean, for myself, grew up in Winnipeg and I don't know any different. So I can see how that would be a strange question. Like, well, compared to what, right? It was my childhood.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
People always ask me, like, oh, you're from Nunavut. What's it like? It's just such a broad question. I don't know how to answer it. It's like, well, people or the land or the weather. Like, obviously we don't have, it's cold.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So then when you were 17, that's when you moved back to Winnipeg. So did you come with your family, and why did you come to Winnipeg?
Well, in Nunavut, in order to go to post-secondary, you have to leave. You have to leave the territory. And so that was always kind of my plan. Mm-hmm. And so for a lot of my friends, you basically have to come a university and end up picking where their parents are from, where they're comfortable visiting, or where they have families. So I picked Manitoba because I felt like it was a chance to reconnect with my Métis side. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, I was identified very strongly with Inuit culture, the Métis heritage. Mm-hmm. So reasons I picked.
Well, lucky Manitoba.
And also I was comfortable here. I'd come here many times on family vacation. So original support services, that was one of the reasons. But I was 17 and I lived on campus doing my undergrad. So I think that choice was because you have a lot of people on their own very young. So I think university.
So when did you know that you were interested in finance stuff? Because I know for me, I knew like right off the bat, that's not what I'm interested in. So
in the sense that like I remember being like, I want to be an accountant. I don't know why. Maybe I just decided, like, I remember driving, I think in Winnipeg, and I asked my parents building, and then they were like, oh, you know, lawyer. And then I just decided, like, oh, I want to be an accountant. I don't know. I don't know.
We're back.
Let's run this with my phone. Maybe that'll be better.
Okay, cool. All right. So you were telling us about you came to Winnipeg, you picked Manitoba, you felt that you can connect with your Métis connections here in Manitoba, and that's been going really good and exciting for you?
Yeah,
you like
it was a good choice. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great.
Is it better? Okay. No, it was I wanted to go to business school, so I went to the Asper School of Business, and what intrigued me about that one was that they had an Aboriginal business education program. Oh, look at you.
Yeah, I got a coffee mug from there.
Product placement.
I don't have a degree, but I have a coffee mug.
I don't even have a coffee mug. So they had a specific Aboriginal program, which I thought was really great for business students. So that was kind of the allure of it, because
nice.
because really, when you think about it, I always kind of explain, University of Manitoba has 30,000 students. The entire territory of Nunavut is not even 30,000 people. So when you kind of put it in that prospect,
yeah,
it can be very overwhelming and scary, and especially when you're a 17-year-old female. yeah, it
Hmm.
could be really challenging. So I wanted to make sure I had really great resources and support network.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Cool. Well, that's great. So, how did you go from graduating with your degree then? And is it a degree, or what is your
Yeah,
education
yeah,
from?
I got my honors Bachelor of Commerce degree with
Very good.
distinction. So so I basically was on honor roll for all 4 years.
Good for you. That's
Yeah.
amazing. So then, okay, so now how did you end up in Fisher River Cree Nation as the chief financial officer?
Well, okay, so I got my undergrad at the University of Manitoba, and then I did my master's in professional accounting in Saskatchewan, in Saskatoon. So I did that while articling at KPMG in Winnipeg. So it was kind of balancing both kind of worlds. But so I did that for 2 years. And then at the same time, right after that, I wrote the national exam for my CA designation or chartered accountant designation.
Hmm.
So after all my articling was done, I got my on my 25th birthday was when I was actually completely done all of my schooling. So I had my honors Bachelor of Commerce, my master's in professional accounting, and my chartered accountant designation with my articling experience. So on my 25th birthday, I was done in terms of my chartered accountant designation. So
Nice.
that was a really great birthday.
Yeah.
And then after, yeah, and then after that, I wanted to always focus on a corporation or a company or any sort of on Indigenous progression and independence and kind of valuing that market. And
Yeah.
so I worked for a variety of companies, kind of with an Aboriginal segment, I would say.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, but really, what I kind of determined after working for corporations, I kind of didn't want to just make somebody else money.
Mhm.
And in that sense, I just kind of felt like I wasn't reaching the market that I wanted to reach. I
Mhm.
wasn't reaching the people I wanted to reach. So I determined about a few years ago that I would work specifically with First Nations. And
Nice.
so, so first general consulting and contracting, and
Mhm.
then I was fortunate enough to meet with a few counselors from Little Grand Rapids First Nation. So I became their health co-manager. So basically, co-manager means that I work with Chief and Council and the employees, and we basically make sure that they're compliant with their funding
Mhm.
agreements with Health Canada in that case.
Mhm.
So basically, we're just working to make sure that their money is being used how it's supposed to be used. And so so that job is very rewarding. And then from there, I met with Fisher River Cree Nation, and they had actually been operating for a year and a half without a. So so we had met a few times, and then and yeah, so a couple of years ago now, I've been with them for almost 2 years. So I basically am in Fisher River Cree Nation, and it's really great. Like their chief and council is very supportive, and they're very involved, and so and my staff are amazing. So it's a really great fit.
Nice, nice. I can say
Mm-hmm.
from my relationship with Fisher River Cree Nation, and I mean, I've gone in to do some training and some stuff like that, is they're such a great community. Like
Yeah,
I remember hearing a few years ago, they have like a 20-year plan and they're just going and they're not waiting on approval from anyone. They're just sort of
yeah.
doing it. And so and then it was funny because I went out there to the powwow, I think it was. And then I saw you in the office and I was like, I forgot you were here. So that was another reunion.
Yeah, I know. I was just in the office. Yeah.
Yeah, just chilling. So
Yeah. No,
cool. So
they're very progressive. Yeah.
yeah. It's interesting because, part of your journey was working with the corporations and just sort of learning those different aspects of things and then taking that knowledge with you back to the communities and working where you really wanted to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was really nice. I felt like I had a lot of that too, working for a corporation for 9 years before I started working with First Nations. So I think it's really valuable.
Yeah. And I think like two people are always like, well, why do you work with, First Nations and Indigenous organizations? And my response is like, it's what I'm passionate about. And I feel like I can actually make a contribution and a
Mhm.
difference. And there
Yeah.
are thousands of non-Indigenous chartered accountants.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like they have their place in the market as well. But I feel like because there's so few Aboriginal or Indigenous chartered accountants, that I feel like I have a responsibility to actually give back and contribute.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like where I come at it from. And what I do want to tell people is, like, you know, because I do have corporate experience, sometimes you learn lessons on how not to manage
Oh yeah.
treat people as much as you learn what to do. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, and I think workplace bullying is real, and I've experienced it. And so once you experience that, you really kind of learn how not to treat people. And I like to think that my staff are happy with them, and you know, my communication style and my expectations. But yeah, I do remember, like, that was one of the reasons I've left corp companies, or just to kind of this perception of I'm not a token. I'm not there to meet their quota or their equity requirements. I'm a person, and I'm intelligent, and I know what I'm worth. And so that's, I think, people always have to keep in mind. Your objectives have to be aligned with the company you're working for.
Right. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. I love your strength and confidence in who you have become, who you've decided to become. I love it. And also thank you for bringing up the point of bullying in a workplace, because I 100% agree with you that it does take place. And I think as we grow older, like, it's harder for us to see those messages given to youth about, you know, don't be a bully, but then we grow up and you know, we go to work and we still see these things. So just acknowledging that it's actually there. Yeah. So very cool. So in the midst of all of this, you decided to open a brand new business. So tell us about that. Where did that even come from?
Sometimes I'm just like, how did I even get here? So I mean, accountants by stereotype are risk adverse, and yeah, so I mean, we'll work for entrepreneurs, but we're very rarely like entrepreneurs. And so luckily, I think what really happened was so I'll just kind of back up. So I'm owner of Reveal Laser Aesthetics in Winnipeg. And so what we are is we're a skin rejuvenation center. So we have a laser, and we're the only ones in Manitoba with this particular laser. And it's a laser from Syneron Candela. And so they're worldwide renowned as the best producers and manufacturers of skin lasers. And so we do everything from acne scar removal to wrinkle removal to any freckle or pigmentation differences that you want to get rid of, age spots, sunspots. And we also do hair removal. What's unique about us is that we are the only ones with this laser. So we can only do certain procedures. We're the only ones who can do certain procedures in terms of skin resurfacing or collagen reproduction. We do not do any injections or surgeries or anything like that. It's just the laser. We have qualified technicians that were trained by Syneron Candela. And so we're really just kind of getting the word out there right now that we're here. And we opened up in November. And we're also we're the sole distributors of Miracle 10 skincare. So this skincare line was developed by a top 3 plastic surgeon in Canada. And how it came to be was he wanted a skincare line specifically for his plastic surgeon clients to prepare the skin and heal the skin pre and post surgeries. And the clients loved it so much that they were like, oh, I want to buy it from you. And so that's how it kind of came to be. So it's a family owned company, and they're based in Toronto. And so we're the only distributors for them in Manitoba, in Saskatchewan. That's and so so it's really exciting. And we opened up in November. Yeah. And I was skeptical about the skincare line because my skin is very touchy. And so I was 17 years. I struggled with acne in my teens. And so they put me on medication and all that kind of stuff. And then I found Proactive. So Proactive works. It'll bleach everything that you own. in your house that you touch. Yeah, so you'll basically end up with like bleach towels and like sheets. But it worked. And every time my skin was like a crack addict in the sense that like it wouldn't let me leave Proactive. It would just, every time I tried to switch, it would just freak out and it was horrible and I would cry. So then I just go back. Yeah. And so when they told me about Miracle 10, I was like, okay, like whatever, you know, so I'll try it. And then I tried it and my skin's never been better and I don't have breakouts. It's like ever. And so if I'm like, okay, if I believe it and my skin's very sensitive, then we'll do this. So we offer the skincare line, we do peels, really anything to make your skin look better and defy the aging process.
That is awesome.
It's like a time machine, really, is what it is. Laser is like a time machine. That's what I tell people. I'm like, I'm really 90 years old.
That's great.
Yeah. So, and actually how it happened. So my business partner and I went in on it to begin with, and we're cousins actually. Okay. And then my best friend was supposed to come in and be kind of like the test person, like a test client. Yeah. Just, you know, I said, come in, like let my technicians work on you and just kind of like, you know, just be my test subject. She came in for a procedure and then she called me and she's like, I want to be a partner.
Wow. Nice.
So, yeah. So I'm like, okay. So we've been best friends for years. And she's an accountant as well.
Wow.
And so, so sometimes we can get quite stressed out because we're risk adverse. We're accountants. And, yeah, so we kind of balance each other out really well. You know, so it takes time, but it's scary. I'm not going to lie. It's really scary.
Wow. Yeah. Well, good for you. That's so exciting. Okay. So you said that you're the only ones with this laser, like in the world or in Canada?
In Manitoba.
Okay.
I mean, I like to say the world, but yeah,
in our world.
Yeah, in Manitoba's world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're the only ones with this laser in Manitoba.
And so how did you find that company? Like, how did you?
Candela.
Sorry.
How did I find Cinnamon Candela?
Yeah.
They have a sales representative here in Manitoba, the Manitoba representative. And he had come to us and done some demos and I had some procedures done and I saw the results. And so, then we decided to go with that particular laser. Yeah.
Okay. So it was sort of your own interest and then it just kind of turned into a business opportunity.
Yeah, it was really my own vanity.
Well, your skin looks great. I've seen you a few times and I don't remember what your skin, I can't comment on what it looked like before. I don't remember, but I know that now when I see you, it's like your skin is like a baby's skin. Like, and it's just like, oh, I want that. I'm buying the Miracle 10, like the cleanser and the moisturizer or whatever. I'm doing that like in the next week and I can't wait because I've been thinking about it for months.
No, it's great. It's a really great skin line and it has the promise of 10. So basically what it says is 10 hours, you'll see a reduction in redness and dullness. 10 days, you'll see more radiant skin. And then within 10 weeks is their guaranteed time period. If you're not satisfied with the results after 10 weeks, you get a full refund. They've never done any refunds.
Excited.
So they're very confident in the results.
Very nice. I love it. I love it. Cool. Well, that's all great. And I've shared on our chat where to find Reveal Cosmetics in Winnipeg. Or sorry, not Reveal Laser Aesthetics. They're on White. Sorry, what is the street name? I wrote it down somewhere.
It's where basically right. It's in the south end, so it's like Oak Bluff technically, but it's right. It's in the building right beside Sky Zone.
All right, Sky Zone we can find. So now we know where to find Reveal Laser Aesthetics. So that's
and it's all on the website and we offer free consultations, so you can come in and kind of see because there's a general like curiosity about lasers and all that kind of stuff, but it's kind of like this mystified thing. People don't really understand what it is and they get scared when they hear the word laser or peel or any of that kind of stuff. So it kind of just demystifies it to come in and talk with our technicians and just kind of say like, what it's all about, what we do, what to expect.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really cool.
And so you're the co-manager of Reveal as well?
No, okay, so co-manager is like a term specifically for First Nation funding agreements.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'm the Chief Financial Officer of Fisher River Cree Nation, the co-manager for Little Grand Rapids Health,
Okay.
and the owner of, or co-owner of Reveal Laser Aesthetics.
Very cool. Very cool. That's exciting. So, what kind of things do you do on a regular basis? You know, whether it's a daily habit or a weekly habit, like how do you keep yourself motivated? How do you keep yourself, you know, in that mode to have continued success? What do you do?
Well, sometimes I like to think that I can keep going at 100% all the time. That's impossible. So what I do, I'm fairly like old school, I think. I have like an agenda, like a paper agenda, and everything goes in there. I write all my appointments, everything I have to do that day for every job. So
Yeah.
when I'm in Fisher River, I'm in Fisher River. So I write down everything I need to do that day, and I get some sort of like weird high from like crossing it off.
Yeah.
I'm very task oriented. So if somebody tells me something in terms of a task, I'm like, I'm on it. I got this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think writing things down and just being super organized and diligent about it. Also just kind of knowing when you're going to burn out, because I've burnt out before. In university, when I was full-time university, and then I had 3 national titles at the same time. So I was traveling a lot and just interviews, and I was just exhausted. And so I'm very cognizant of feeling like that and not feeling like that now. So you really do kind of have to balance it as much as possible. But I'm lucky that I have really great, in Fisher River, I have really great staff and chief and council. They're really just supportive and just, you know, that we just do what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And same with Reveal. Like my business partners are just, we kind of are there for each other. And if I say like, I need a break, or, you know, can somebody else handle this one thing, then we're really great. We work well together.
Nice.
So I think it's really surrounding yourself with the right people who will compliment you, and you can kind of lean on each other that way, because it's a team effort. It's not just. So I think that's really the key to it, is just making sure that you're aware, you're self-aware of your limits, because everyone has them, and that you surround yourself with really great people.
Very cool. So I want to ask you about mentors, but for a second, I want to go back, because did you say 3 national titles? What was that about?
Yeah. So when I was, in my 3rd year of university, I think 2005 was like my year.
Okay.
So I won the National Métis Youth Role Model, and then I won and then I won the National Aboriginal Achievement Award, which is now the Inspire Awards.
Okay.
So I won that. Yeah, and then Miss Nunavut that year as well. So I went to Miss World Canada. Again, my vanity. There's the vanity.
No, that's amazing. Good for you. Good for you. That is so cool.
Yeah, and then at the same time, I was National Aboriginal Youth Role Model. So I was traveling. Yeah, I know. So I was really tired. Trying to be, you know, trying to be fun all the time and trying to be awake all the time, but I was exhausted. Yeah.
Well, good for you. Those are good times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you learn so many things about yourself.
One time, though. Well, I remember one time when I knew I burnt out when I met with the Prime Minister for the Inspire, or the Aboriginal Achievement Award. And so they did the announcement at the House of Commons. I met with the Prime Minister, Paul Martin, at the time. And the picture ended up on the front page of the Free Press. But I didn't know that. And so I was in Ottawa, literally took a 4 a.m. flight back to Winnipeg because I had an exam that morning, a tax exam. So I was cramming like crazy. on the plane, drinking coffee, like trying to, anyway, I did really well in the exam, but I went upstairs to the Aboriginal office, to the Aboriginal education office. And they showed me, they're like, look, you're on the front page. And I looked at the photo and I burst out crying.
Why?
Yeah. Like,
Why?
not even pretty tears, like ugly crying. Like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I made the picture, I look horrible, and I'm so tired. Like, I was exhausted. I hadn't slept for like 24, I don't even know. And they're like, you need to sleep. And I was like, I can't. Like, I was exhausted. And so from that moment on, yeah.
That's hilarious.
I just knew that I'm like, okay, like I can't even be happy in this moment because I'm so tired.
Oh yeah. I've totally been there. Yeah. Totally been there.
Yeah. And so, yeah.
Okay. So I don't want to keep you, I don't want to keep you much longer, but I want to know if you have, is there any mentors that stand out for you or any advice that someone had given to you that was valuable that you continue to share that advice? So mentor or advice, what comes to mind?
Well, I mean, obviously I think my mom, just kind of always encouraging me and like challenging me and, just being really upfront. I think that one's obviously like the strongest. In terms of other mentors, I would say Roberta Jameson.
Okay.
So she's the CEO of Inspire. And so I have been involved with, it's formerly the National Aboriginal Achievement Foundation.
Okay.
And so I've known her since I was 19. And that foundation just supported me throughout all my education. So I received numerous scholarships from them. Mm-hmm. And so I think just working with her and just kind of seeing how she deals with people and hearing her speak and just kind of engage people, I think she's a really strong female role model for me, in terms of just, I can just tell her like, what do you think about this? Or just kind of run ideas by somebody.
Yeah.
I think that's important. Also, but I think I kind of learn more from what not to do from people. True. And people that I won't name, but that I've worked with, and I'm just like, I don't want to be like you. And so you can do. So I think I'm kind of a learner that way as well. Mm-hmm. I'm more observant that way. Of just kind of, okay, I don't want to make somebody feel like how you're making me feel. Right. So I think I've learned more from that way too.
Yeah, great. Well, it was really fun chatting with you. Anything else that you want to share with the interview before I let you go?
Well, you can check out our website. So Reveal Laser Aesthetics is reveallaserwinnipeg.com. We offer free consultations, and we also have a Facebook page, Instagram, and Twitter page.
Right on. So
all check us out.
Check us out. And LinkedIn as well, right? Are you on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Okay, so, awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you, Fauna. And I'm going to be uploading this interview on YouTube. I'm actually going to combine them both so that there's none of the split. But I'm doing this every Friday. I'm going to be interviewing Chantel Daniels of Red Cedar Gifts next week. And hopefully in the meantime, we're able to clear up some of this internet lagging time. But anyway, thank you so much.
Computer.
Okay. Cool. Well, I'm going to connect with you again in a couple of minutes, but I just want to say thank you and hope that everyone likes and shares this video.
Great. Thanks.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.